right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Warm and breezy tomorrow. Who may see a morning storm? I'll time out the rain chances.
RSV vaccine roadblock. Tonight, the I-Team uncovers why some with a prescription cannot find a dose. First tonight, Israel intensifying its retaliation against Hamas. The death toll is rising, including the number of Americans.
There's so many people dying, and this truly is like another 9/11.
This as a West County teen studying abroad tries to flee the war-torn country.
Tonight, the fighting between Israel and Hamas is entering its 5th day. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The war has already claimed at least 1,900 lives on both sides. That includes 14 Americans. 20 or more are missing tonight. It's now 6 a.m. Wednesday morning in Gaza City, where the skies have been filled with rockets and many neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble. The Gaza Strip has endured 4 days of a bombardment of Israeli airstrikes in retaliation to Saturday's surprise attack by Hamas militants. Tonight, Hamas leaders continue to fire rockets into Israel and hold civilians hostage in Gaza, including Americans. Today, President Biden addressed the nation, condemning the militant group.
This is an act of sheer evil. We must be crystal clear. We stand with Israel. There's no justification for terrorism. There's no excuse.
Warships and fighter jets are moving into the region, but full-scale U.S. support needs congressional approval, and that's on hold until a new House Speaker is chosen.
A St. Louis teenager is in Israel right now studying abroad, and at this very moment, she is packed up. She is starting her journey to safety. She's trying to get to the airport and fly to Europe after a heartbreaking, horrifying 4 days in a war zone. Panicked footsteps racing to a bomb shelter.
The sirens were going off, and we heard that we were being bombed.
A sprint St. Louis and Katie Wallace would take over and over again when Hamas attacked Israel on Saturday.
We returned to the bomb shelter like 7 other times that day. So we were under heavy fire from Gaza.
From a dorm room, the Parkway West senior explained she's studying abroad in Israel for the semester. Now, grief and death fill her Israeli school.
All my teachers have lost really close friends, and they don't know the whereabouts of other friends and family.
Some staff left immediately. Reservists called up to fight.
We hear constantly like the Iron Dome intercepting missiles. We see the warnings all throughout Israel on like an app we have. We literally feel the ground shaking.
And the 17-year-old says hate from her hometown of St. Louis has reached her via social media.
The hatred I'm already facing from home. I've been threatened by some of my classmates physically. I already spoke on the phone with my principal because I was so concerned about these threats that I'm already facing.
But just hours ago, Katie's school broke out in song to stay strong, singing Israel's national anthem. Mustering courage for their journey home, the once happy teenagers plan to board flights to Europe late Tuesday night and escape what has become a war zone. 2 other students from St. Louis who attend the same school will also be flying to Europe tonight. The principal at Parkway West said he did speak with Katie. He's looking into the threats. The Parkway superintendent sent an email to all families in the district today, asking students to be sensitive, kind, and respectful to peers who may be impacted.
Numerous rallies formed across the U.S. tonight, both in support of Israel and Palestine. The demonstrations show the far-reaching ramifications of the conflict. The war in the Middle East has once again sparked security concerns among Jewish communities nationwide and here in St. Louis. Our Robert Townsend spent the day looking into that part of the story. Robert.
Mike, of course, the FBI cannot lay out any specific security measures for us as it watches the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Right now, FBI officials tell me they're not aware of any local threats tied to the war. According to the Anti-Defamation League, ever since Israel declared war on the Gaza Strip after an unprecedented attack by Hamas militants Saturday, the Jewish community in the United States has been on heightened alert so has the FBI.
The important thing to note right now is there is really no credible threat information related to our community.
The Anti-Defamation League reports during the 2 weeks of military conflict between Israel and Hamas in May of 2021, anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. increased by 75% compared to the 2 weeks before the fighting broke out. Statistics the FBI is well aware of as this latest war rages on.
Our federal partners, state and local partners, we're obviously monitoring the situation very closely. If that changes, we will certainly communicate that information as soon as we get it.
Currently, St. Louis police are still investigating a report of anti-Semitic graffiti found on a sidewalk, a truck, and a sign at Christie Park in South City on Monday.
We are aware of that incident. If there's something that's out of the ordinary to you in your community, your business, your neighborhood, we ask that you call us.
Currently, there are about 60,000 Jewish people living right here in St. Louis and at least 25 congregations.
And you can also read the latest on the Israel-Hamas war on KSDK.com. For a link to our stories, just text the word Israel to 314-425-5355. Well, a cool night across St. Louis, but not as cold as the last few nights.
Warmer air is bringing a chance of morning storms, and Weather First meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott tonight, tracking who may see rain and thunder as they head out the door tomorrow. Jim.
Yeah, hi, Ann. So it does look like it's going to get a little bit more active later tonight after 3 a.m. So increasing clouds, and temperatures will either stay where they're at or go down just a little bit more. But then here comes that warm front, and look what's popping up. Some showers, rain, some thunder in here. Not expecting severe weather. This is 5 a.m. Here's 7 a.m. and then right through the Mississippi River and on into the on the Illinois side, east of the Mississippi, as we get through 10 a.m. and that should be it. Then it's a warm breeze throughout the day, but weather headlines include that early morning rain and thunder possible just about for anyone, but right along the Mississippi and of course north of Interstate 70, the better chance of seeing that between 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. Warm and breezy the next 2 days, in fact, well into the 80s, and it does look like, again, overnight lows tonight in the 50s around St. Louis, but that better chance of rain early morning tomorrow, and then it's a dry day. Much more on the forecast coming up.
Tonight, St. Louis police are investigating a deadly shooting in the Dutchtown neighborhood. Officers were called to the area of Osage and Louisiana just before 7 tonight. That's at the northwest corner of Marquette Park. A man was found shot in the head in an alley. No word on what led to the shooting or any arrests. Tonight, explosive new allegations of mismanagement and sexual abuse at the Juvenile Detention Center in St. Louis County.
Now, a county councilman is sounding the alarm. Brent Solomon is live to explain local leaders are now calling on state intervention. Brent.
Mike, these are just allegations, but leaders here in the county say if we're going to get to the bottom of this, someone has to look into it, and who better than the state of Missouri?
I'm hoping the Attorney General will accept my request.
Councilman Ernie Tracus speaking candidly before the St. Louis County Council Tuesday night, a day after he penned this letter to Attorney General Andrew Bailey. Quote, as you may know, the St. Louis County Council has recently received allegations of severe abuse of minor residents of the center. It has been alleged residents are restricted to their individual rooms for extensive periods of time without access to restrooms, showers, and contact with others. Local advocates say that's not all.
Injuries. I want to shift the pivot now from the juveniles to the workers themselves.
Reverend Phil Duval is in touch with jail workers, detainees, and their families.
More than one CO was hurt very badly in the Justice Center. That was unacceptable. I'm here to tell you that they've been getting hurt in the Justice Center, and nobody is saying anything about these injuries.
He says one of the correctional officers is a veteran
who has not sustained injuries from war, but sustained injuries from being inside the detention center. And if that's what happens to an employee, Heaven help what happens to those children.
Councilman Tracus says he's learning that some of the teen detainees are using the restrooms in their jail cells, and allegations some staffers are sexually abusing youth in their custody.
If the things that we've heard are only partially true, it's still unacceptable.
Also tonight, council members were set to vote on whether it should be illegal for children 16 years and younger to purchase or carry guns in public. But the council member who proposed that idea couldn't be here tonight, so it will come up later. That's the very latest from the county. We'll send it back to you, Mike.
Chaos tonight at the St. Louis Public School Board meeting. Shouting broke out after the board ended the public comment portion of the meeting before all speakers got a chance to speak. Among them, members of Coalition of STL Kids who are demanding action after new federal data revealed many St. Louis students are struggling to read.
These are business meetings. Our job first and foremost is to conduct business.
The board promised to take up more public comment after completing official business.
Access denied. The RSV vaccine is now available to pregnant women. But the I-Team found out finding a dose is not easy.
It's devastating for the patients and our community.
Tonight, we're helping expecting moms find their shot. He's the last line of defense for the Blues. Tonight, Jordan Binnington is taking some quick shots from our Frank Cusimano.
The warmest weather of the week is on the way. I'll time out our rain and thunder chances and when that fall chill returns.
Developing tonight, the daughter of Mary Lou Retton says the Olympic gold medal gymnast is fighting for her life. In an Instagram post, McKenna Kelly says her 55-year-old mother has been in the ICU for more than a week, battling a rare form of pneumonia. Kelly started an online fundraiser claiming her mother has no health insurance. Retton made history at the 1984 Los Angeles Games by becoming the first American to win the all-around gold medal at the Olympics.
The CDC now recommends a new vaccine for RSV, a very common respiratory illness among children and the elderly.
The I-Team's Paula Vassan discovered firsthand, while the vaccine is recommended during pregnancy to protect newborns, getting the vaccine is a major challenge.
With a doctor's note as a customer, I tried getting the RSV vaccine and failed several times. I eventually got it, but it took lots of time and effort.
Maria Snell leads the doctoral nursing program at Maryville University in St. Louis.
So we've had some great developments actually with the RSV vaccine. It's just recently been FDA approved for maternal administration.
Recommended between 32 and 36 weeks in pregnancy by both the CDC and the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists.
And it's shown to be highly effective, right?
Yes, it's been incredibly effective. It's prevented 57% of hospitalizations for RSV in those children 5 and under.
RSV stands for respiratory syncytial virus, a leading cause of hospitalization among infants. The idea of the vaccine in pregnancy is to pass on antibodies. But I discovered actually getting the vaccine was a series of obstacles.
I think that's devastating. It's devastating for the patients and our community.
The vaccine is so new, many doctors' offices don't carry it yet. At around 8 Walgreens locations, I was told they would give me the vial of the vaccine, but I would have to figure out how to transport it safely and get it administered. Another pharmacist at a CVS told me they're only administering the RSV vaccine to people over age 60. Spokespeople at Walgreens and CVS have not responded to my 7 emails over the past week asking about their policies.
What's the impact of lack of accessibility on pregnant people?
So creating barriers like that are unfortunate and will significantly impact people's ability to be vaccinated in these high-risk groups.
A spokesperson with the Missouri Pharmacy Association told me the policy of giving a patient a vial to have them take it somewhere else is risky. In an email, he told me, I would be extremely hesitant to do or recommend this. He said temperature variations during transport could make the vaccine less effective. In the end, I got the RSV vaccine from an independent pharmacy.
They don't have a big, executive board that they have to answer to make these decisions.
The nonprofit Pharmacists United for Truth and Transparency believes other factors at chain store pharmacies could also play a role.
That is probably because they are inundated with COVID and flu right now, that their staffing is very short. RSV is probably on the back burner.
People we interviewed tell the I-Team independent pharmacies may be able to react more quickly to public health recommendations.
In clinical trials of the RSV vaccine in pregnancy, most reported very mild temporary side effects, if any. They include pain at the injection site and nausea. With RSV season coming up, medical professionals are urging pregnant people to talk with their doctors and get the vaccine. But it may be harder than you'd expect. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Do you have a tip for Paula and the 5 on your side I-Team? Leave a voice message. The number is 314-444-5231. You can also email Paula if that's easier. The email tips@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
We have some sad news tonight about a centenarian in Illinois who just last week broke the Guinness World Record as the oldest person to skydive. 104-year-old Dorothy Hoffner died Monday morning at her senior living community near Chicago. A close friend says she died in her sleep. Dorothy took her first skydive at the age of 100. She would have turned 105 in December.
Brave woman. That was unbelievable video.
Had a beautiful life.
Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott, joining us now with the weather first forecast, talking about the chances of rain.
Yeah, can you believe it? After a beautiful day.
We haven't had much.
Yeah, we haven't. And we need some rain. It was really dry today. It still is dry. The dew points are down in the 40s, so the humidity is down. And it was down all day. And right now, there's no rain anywhere near us. You have to go out into really western Missouri where a couple showers are popping up. So we're cool in spots outside of the city. We're down in the 40s in a few areas. O'Fallon, Missouri at 48 and Alton coming in at about 46 and 55 right through St. Louis. So there it is. That temperature at Lambert, 55, humidity not high at all at 64%. A nice calm wind, and the high today was just slightly below average, about 71. 72 is average, and 45 this morning, even in the city, so pretty cool. High pressure, well, it's nowhere near us. We have this huge low in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it is really swinging in some of that cooler air. Even Chicago through northern Indiana, still some frost advisories for tonight. A little bit of that moisture is now trying to move into Kansas City, and here's that warm front. So some of that warmer air to the south is overriding this front, and sure enough, the futurecast is showing a chance of showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder in here, just about anywhere now. Some of the models earlier were showing Interstate 70 northbound, so we have a chance of it just about anywhere, especially right along the Mississippi River and on into Illinois throughout late morning. And then it's just a breezy day and likely some nice clearing after the morning hours. So it's a warm breeze, and we're close to 80, 81 degrees. Same for Thursday. It looks like a dry day Thursday, but then a strong front comes in on Friday. Showers and storms more likely at that point. And again, at this point, we're not expecting any severe weather, but maybe some downpours and much needed rainfall. We see that temperature drop down into the 70s on Friday. And here's that weekend outlook: chilly and windy and very cloudy. Sprinkles possible Saturday, probably 61. Some of us in the 50s, and on Sunday, 59 for that high temperature. So it's cool, cloudy, breezy to windy. And of course, Lydia, I just wanted to point this out. Category 4 moved into Mexico just below Puerto Vallarta tonight, and we're still trying to find reports on any damage there, but a very strong storm. All right, 10-day forecast showing 81 tomorrow, 80 on Thursday. Cooler Friday at 74 with that rain likely. 61 Saturday, but it's cloudy for that annular eclipse, so it doesn't look like we're going to even see that with the proper gear that you need, of course. And then it's just cool and windy, guys, for the rest of the weekend coming up.
All right, Jim, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, we have a good one coming up. Brady Cook on how he takes care of his receivers at Mizzou, the opening of the NHL season, and on Hit and Run, how did Jordan Binnington propose to his wife?
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
Let me just say this. If you are not rooting for Mizzou football now, You probably don't like Puppies, Chocolate Cake, or The Sopranos. What is not to like? A 5-1 record heading to Kentucky, an electrifying offense, and almost everybody that literally touches the ball on offense is from our town, including the quarterback from Chaminade, Brady Cook. Early in the game on Saturday, Cook threw a beautiful ball that went off the fingertips of Theo Weiss and fell incomplete. 2 plays later, Cook went right back to Weiss. Same pass to the same area, Weiss hauled it in for the touchdown. Brady said he's aware and focused on keeping his receivers confident and in the game.
Receivers are obviously disappointed after a big drop. You want to get the ball back in their hands to, kind of let their minds be clear of that and just let them play forward and keep moving. So yeah, that's something I definitely think about. And obviously, if they drop a ball, most receivers are going to drop a ball, right? So my job is to keep their confidence up. I know they can catch it, they can do their job, and yeah, definitely want to go back to them.
Love that kid. The NHL season opened tonight in Pittsburgh. Blackhawks in town, and the future Hall of Famer Sidney Crosby had a nice goal on a bad angle. But Sid the Kid wasn't the main attraction. Connor Bedard, the rookie phenom, was. He got the assist here on the Ryan Donato goal. Chicago goes to Pittsburgh and steals one 4-2. 74-year-old Dusty Baker, who got to the big league as a player in 1968, had a good day. The Astros hit 4 homers, and Yordan Alvarez is hotter than AI. 4 homers for him alone in this series. Astros beat the Twins 9-1. They lead the series 2-1. Dean Kramer took the mound for the Orioles. He's the first Israeli to play in a playoff game. He said Israel will be in the back of his head. Didn't work out tonight, though. The Rangers came out swinging. The former Cardinal, Adalis Garcia, with a 3-run shot. Rangers go on to win it 7-1, and they sweep the series 3-0. So we often play hit and run with a sports celebrity, and tonight we play with arguably the most important hockey figure in our town, Jordan Binnington. Tom Stasiak on The Edit tonight. Most famous person that you met that you were surprised he knew who you were?
I mean, John Hamm's an obvious one, right?
Does Ham ever text with you?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit, sometimes some post-game chats, just out of the blue, check in how he's doing. He's just a great guy to know. He's so friendly and welcoming.
Your next favorite sport is?
I would say now golf.
What player on this team would you like to change their skill set for yours for just one day? Who would you like to be on this team for one day?
Maybe Falker. Just a strong guy, good shot, good awareness on the ice.
Sports hero growing up?
Michael Jordan. Just my dad loved the Bulls, just a dominant athlete and just kind of showed up in big moments.
Your famous line to Jim Thomas is, "Do I look nervous?" How often do you get that, like in an airport or at a restaurant, where people repeat that to you?
Pretty often.
No hockey in this world, you would have done what?
Underwater firefighter.
Favorite restaurant in St. Louis?
I like Louis on Demont, Paul Manos is good, Napoli.
How did you pop the question to your bride, Christine?
So I lived in a condo building I would consider pretty legendary in downtown Toronto. It's kind of where we first started dating and fell in love, so I dropped the knee there.
You just turned 30. Describe your whirlwind life in a couple sentences.
Enjoyable. Right now I feel in a good spot. I'm enjoying the natural world and just people. It's a lot of fun, just enjoying the moment and surrounding yourself with good people, good energy kind of feel. And I think I could have learned some things a little earlier on that would help me out back then, but I got there and it's still ongoing. And just keeping an open mind, I think, is part of my process.
What would a second Stanley Cup mean to Jordan Binnington?
I think it would hit different. It would be very special. Just knowing how much work it takes and how tough it is just to reach the top again would be very special.
And he said his bride, Christine, is a spectacular cook. She's half Italian, half Greek. I know about that because that's what Monique is.
Underwater firefighter.
Yes.
Huh?
Good answer.
Frank, thanks.
It is truly St. Louis style. How the square beyond compare wants to be the square to wear. The Powerball jackpot has grown to the second largest lottery prize in U.S. history. No one matched all 6 numbers last night. Tomorrow night's jackpot now worth $1.73 billion.
It's being dubbed as the world's largest indoor paddle and pickleball club, and it's coming to Olivet. Paddle and Pickle will offer 6 European-style panoramic paddle courts and 8 Cushion Master 2 pickleball courts. It's located on North Price Road near Olive and 170, and it's set to open this winter.
That's where Monique will be. You can now style yourself with an iconic St. Louis-style pizza brand. Emos is launching a 17-piece clothing and merchandise collection with Series 6. The items will go on sale Thursday at the Series 6 store in Richmond Heights. Online sales begin Friday.
And if you're wearing those and you're out of town, people will know you're from St. Louis.
Yes, that's right.
Jim has a final check of the weather.
All right, so chance of a shower or a thunderstorm between, I'd say, 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. And then we're just breezy and warm tomorrow. And then it gets kind of windy, guys, and gets much colder by the weekend, about 60 for the high.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Have a great tomorrow.